Welcome back to Weyermann's Whimsy. This is the second of 4 cards using the Botanical Beauty stamp. And I've paired it this time with the Love for You stamp set and dies to cut out the For You. So I've used Designer Series paper from the Delightful Floral set. I've done this one in Berry Burst. I'm doing the one on the video in Granny Apple Green. But it's basically white embossing powder, heat embossed, and then you put the greeting on. So I'm going to change it up just a little bit with a narrow border on the one I do on the video. But let's get started on this one. So I'm just going to pull this into frame a little bit. And I need to put this right here. I've put a couple of pencil marks where that has to go because using the magnets means that I don't get a really good press down image. I'm just going to put that there. It's right at the top of the screen, so hopefully you can see it. My matte piece is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, just so I get a little tiny bit of border around it. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp with the Versamark, and it helps if you put an ink pad or your stamp set underneath the hinged piece. It stops it kind of wobbling around when you're doing your inking up. So we're going to fold this over like this, give it a good push down, make sure we've got good coverage, then we can lift it up. And we're just going to peel it off. And of course you can't see anything because it's Versamark, but I'm going to take my white embossing powder and I'm just going to sprinkle some on here. I won't get everything, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to let it wash down into the container. And then I'm just going to scoop it up and get those pieces that I missed. So, bit of a slow process to get all of this done up with the embossing powder and then to heat it. But we just keep on going. Okay, and then let's do this far side. And I'm just going to have a look and make sure that I've got good coverage in all the spots that need it. And I do. Okay, so I'm just going to put all of this off to the side, and then I'm going to grab my heat tool. So you might want to turn your volume down or fast forward while I'm doing this. It's really dull right now. I'm going to keep doing this until everything goes shiny. There we go. It's starting to go. Okay, I'm just going to turn it around. You'll notice I keep the heat tool moving so that I don't scorch the paper. Now I'm just going to take a look at it in the light to make sure that I've got all of it melted, and it looks like I do, so that's perfect. We'll just set that off to the side. Move that out of the way. Sorry, I just bumped the camera. My apologies. We'll move this out of the way so we've got some room to work. So we've got our 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 mat that we're going to glue down. I'm just giving my embossed piece just a minute to cool down. The powder gets very soft, and if you try and work with it right away, you can end up smudging it. So there we go. We're going to drop that down. I got a little bit of adhesive along the edge there. I'm just going to scooch that out of the way. Put that over there. Now I'm going to just, okay, it's cooling down nicely, so that's perfect. I'm going to put adhesive all the way around the edges because the heat embossing tends to warp the paper a little bit. So we're just going to do that. And I've got a couple of gaps, and that's where I'm going to put my greeting because I can. There's always more than one way to do this. And that's with anything. If you need to place a greeting and you've made an oops, that's a really good place for your greeting. So I'm going to use mini dimensionals. And I've got a set here that I'm just using the edges up. And I've got some that I've cut long. So I'm just going to pop them on like this. And then I need a couple more. These ones are just little. I'm going to pop one like that. One like that. Oop. I haven't cut as many of these as I thought I had. There's another one. Okay. Scissors. I just need one more little one. There we go. And there you go. I go through tons of dimensionals, and I always seem to be using up the edges on my videos, but they're just as good as anything else. So we're going to put the 4 there, and we're going to put the U just next to it. Right like that. Cover up those 2 blips in the embossing. So that is our card for today using white heat embossing ink on designer series paper. You could also use a blending brush. If you don't have designer series paper, you could use a blending brush and then heat emboss over top of it. And again, it's the Botanical Beauty stamp set with the Love for You greeting and stamp and die. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.